what if I told you that for years, a tiny almond-shaped part of your brain has been secretly running your life? It's called the amygdala. Its only job is to scan for threats and keep you safe. But in our modern world, that system has been hijacked, it's compromised, and now it triggers your internal alarm for everything, from public speaking to a difficult conversation to just hitting send on an important email. You know the feeling, the racing heart, the sweaty palms, that sudden, overwhelming urge to just run. That's the physical ghost of an ancient survival circuit taking the wheel. For so many of us, this hijacker has become the silent dictator of our lives, building invisible walls around our potential and whispering limits into our subconscious. It decides what jobs we apply for, which relationships we start, and what dreams we even dare to imagine. But what if this wasn't a life sentence? What if there were simple, practical ways, grounded in neuroscience, to rewire that very circuit? What if you could take back the controls, not by fighting your fear, but by understanding it, working with it, and ultimately transforming it? What if you could turn that fear from a prison into a compass? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how. Fear is universal. It's that quiet dread that settles in your stomach the night before a big presentation. It's the paralysis that stops you from asking for the raise you know you deserve. It's the hesitation that keeps you locked in a situation that no longer serves you. We've all felt it, and we've all, at some point, let it make our decisions for us. Every time we do, our world shrinks just a little bit more. The real issue isn't the feeling of fear itself, it's that we misunderstand where it comes from. We treat it like a personal weakness, something to be ashamed of. But it's not a flaw, it's a biological process. An echo from a time when our survival depended on instant, unthinking reactions. Deep inside your brain's temporal lobe is the amygdala. Think of it as your mind's smoke alarm. Its only job is to scan everything you experience and ask one question: is this going to kill me? For our ancient ancestors, this system was brutally effective. A rustle in the bushes, the amygdala fires. A shadow in the distance, it fires again. It didn't have to be right all the time. It just had to be fast. A false alarm was an inconvenience. A missed threat was death. This is the fight-or-flight response. When the amygdala senses danger, it doesn't wait for a second opinion. It sends a distress signal that bypasses the slower, logical parts of your brain. This is the amygdala hijack. In an instant, your body floods with cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate spikes, your breathing quickens, blood rushes to your muscles. Your body is ready to fight or run. In the ancient world, that was a brilliant adaptation. But here's the problem. Your amygdala hasn't had a software update in hundreds of thousands of years. It's running on ancient code. It can't tell the difference between the threat of a predator and the threat of a one-word email from your boss that says urgent. It can't tell the difference between facing down a tiger and facing a room full of people you need to speak to. To your amygdala, social rejection feels like death. Because for our ancestors, being cast out from the tribe was death. A critical comment, a potential failure, an unknown future. These all register as existential threats. That's why fear feels so physical, because to part of your brain, it is real. The hijack shuts down your rational mind and puts ancient emotion in the driver's seat. And living like this, day after day, doesn't just hold you back. It rewires your brain for stress and anxiety. So, are we just stuck with this ancient system running our lives? Absolutely not. The path to freedom isn't to rip out the smoke alarm, it's to recalibrate it. Here's the big shift, the reframe that changes everything. The physical sensations of fear and excitement are almost identical. Think about it. Before a speech you're terrified of, your heart pounds, your breathing quickens, your senses sharpen. Before a roller coaster you're thrilled about, the same thing happens. The same chemistry, the same reaction. The difference is the story. One story says, "This is fear, I'm in danger." The other says, "This is excitement, I'm alive." The power to choose that story comes from the prefrontal cortex, the calm, rational CEO of your brain. If the amygdala is the panicked security guard, the prefrontal cortex is the one who looks up and says, "Thank you for the alert. I've reviewed the data. We're fine." But when fear dominates, that connection weakens. The guard's shouting drowns out the CEO's calm voice. The good news? That connection can be rebuilt. It's called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. You can train your brain to respond to fear, not with panic, but with curiosity, to see fear not as danger, but as a signal that says, "Pay attention, growth ahead." So how do you do it? It's about sending new signals, proving to your amygdala that what it perceives as danger is manageable. Here are 3 science-backed methods to do exactly that. First, name it to tame it. When fear rises, pause and say what you feel. "I'm feeling fear." This is anxiety. It sounds simple, but brain scans show it activates your rational mind and quiets the amygdala. It's like switching on a light in a dark room. Second, the forward action principle. Fear wants you to freeze or flee. Do the opposite. Take one small, deliberate step toward the discomfort. Each small movement tells your brain, "I'm okay. I can handle this." You're proving the fear wrong in real time. And third, scheduled discomfort. Train your fear like a muscle. Once a week, do one small thing that challenges your comfort zone. Ask the hard question. Speak up in the meeting. Eat alone without your phone. Each small act builds evidence, proof that you're capable of more than your fear believes. So what happens when you do this consistently? You start using fear as a compass. It stops meaning stop and starts meaning this matters. The project that scares you, that's the one that will expand you. The conversation you're avoiding, that's the one that will deepen connection. The risk you're afraid to take, that's the one that will change everything. Fear doesn't disappear. You just learn to walk beside it, to breathe through it, to trust that you can handle what comes next. That's where real freedom begins. The freedom to speak your truth, even when your voice shakes, to pursue the life you want, not just the one that feels safe, to show up as your full self and finally be seen. For too long, we've treated fear as an enemy to conquer, but it isn't an enemy. It's an outdated guard trying to protect you. You don't need to fight it. You just need to retrain it. Use these tools. Name it to tame it. The forward action principle and scheduled discomfort. You can reshape your brain. You can rewire your fear. You can turn what once held you back into what drives you forward. So here's your challenge. Pick one small fear this week, just one. Label it, step toward it, and notice what happens. Then come back and share what you discovered. Your act of courage might be the spark that helps someone else start theirs. Thank you for watching. Explore the mind. Transform your life.